All right, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs defense. So, I made a lot of videos about specific defensive players for the Kansas City Chiefs, but I kind of realized I never just made a video about the unit as a whole. And again, it's one of those things where, defensive players very rarely win Super Bowl MVP because it's usually hard to pinpoint one player. It usually is such a team effort. So I figured, well, let's just make a video talking about the team effort here. Not to say that offense isn't a team effort, because of course it is as well, but let's get into the defense of the Kansas City Chiefs. And really, what it started off with is just guys winning their one-on-one matchups, right? I know I say it's a team effort, but you need everyone to win their one-on-one matchups, and sometimes you're going to have some difficult situations. Something like this, which the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, knows how to scheme up good situations for his players, right? This is a 3rd and 14, so you might be saying, well, that's probably not going to go so well, but it's actually a good situation for San Francisco. There's only a single safety deep for the Kansas City Chiefs, and with Deebo Samuel's route, starts off in the slot, but it's going to run towards the outside and going to go down the field outside the numbers. These are the kind of routes you typically try and scheme up, right? Can you get a one-on-one matchup with a good receiver, albeit Deebo Samuel, maybe not their best downfield receiver. He's not usually a go route guy, but still he's still really good at it. He still can do this. Going up against Trent McDuffie, who an all-pro, but is just usually a slot corner, usually not used to going down the field. So this is an interesting matchup. However, when Purdy takes the snap, he's going to, look down the field. He has time to throw. He fires it down the field. And again, is there some separation? Honestly, not really. At the same time, for Purdy, I have no issue with him throwing this ball, right? Give your receiver a chance. You could get a penalty. He could make the play. It's 3rd and 14, so, gaining 5 yards, it would help out with the field goal, but it's not a huge deal either way. So why not just take a chance? Yes, there is the risk of a turnover, but that seems unlikely. It's probably a good, a one-on-one matchup in the end zone because the safety kind of moved further in. And that's a fine, throw up a 500 alive situation, right? As you see, though, look at how McDuffie finishes, knocks the football away. Samuel wanted to flag, but I disagree with Samuel. I think that was a good no call. That was just good defense. And this is what the Chiefs did so well, is they just covered so well in this game. Great defense in today's NFL with how effective the passing game is. If you can cover, you're going to have a great defense, and they covered incredibly well in this football game. I can play this is exactly how they were able to be so effective, where what's going to happen is it's going to be they're going to show a cover 2 man. And what makes the Chiefs so difficult, which I've talked about in other videos, is you don't know where a blitz could be coming from, because what they do is if they blitz, a safety then covers one of the receivers. They just move down post snap, and then you have, any of the other 5 players can be blitzing the quarterback. It's a really effective scheme. On this play, it doesn't look like there's a blitz. There are 5 players who rush the passer, so it might be, but Christian McCaffrey was blocking on the play, so a lot of what you do is you have someone kind of look at the running back, and if they're blocking, then you rush the quarterback. If they're not blocking, then you go out and just cover them, right? Okay, simple enough. But here's what's worth noting, is that that's not the only guy who's blocking on this play that isn't an offensive lineman. Kittle is also blocking. So Purdy, who's looking down the field, doesn't love what he sees. There's pressure right there. It's a bad situation for Purdy, right? But no worries. You can just scramble up, right? Well, Purdy starts to scramble, and you see, okay, why can't he scramble much further than this? Well, look at that Kansas City player right there. Who is that? What's the importance here? Well, as I mentioned, Kittle is blocking on this play, meaning that for Reed on this one, he was the guy who was covering Kittle on this play, and because Kittle is blocking, well, now he's just hanging around. He's looking at the quarterback, and he's able to be in position. He's going to run in, and he actually gets the sack on that play, or I believe it would be a sack. It could be considered a quarterback run for a loss, but give him credit for the sack. Why not? Really good play there by everyone involved, right? The coverage not allowing for Purdy to be able to get rid of the football, the pressure causing Purdy to have to get outside the pocket, and then the scheme allowing for there to be someone in the area. So, even with a cover 2 man play, there also is an extra player in the area who could come through and make a tackle, when usually those quarterback scrambles are deadly against that coverage. This time, not so much. Also, a play like this is definitely worth talking about, the running game. I mean, it's weird so I'm going to highlight Chris Jones on this play, but it's weird how, I mean, you think about Chiefs, not necessarily known for their run defense, but this is now twice in the Super Bowl. They've done a good job at stopping the Shanahan scheme. And while some of that I think is Spagnuolo's blitzes can kind of fool San Francisco a little bit, some of it is just like Chris Jones being awesome. Watch how on this play, so you see right when it begins, there's, the guard is going to kind of try to run past Jones, whereas the tackle is going to be the one who tries and block him. That's the way this is supposed to work. However, watch Chris Jones almost like a bullfighter. He steps to the side of both of them. So, okay, great job there. You're not getting blocked. Still got to make the tackle, though. Like, this is only the first part of the play. However, that's going to be exactly what he does. He runs over and he does make the tackle. So great job by Chris Jones to make something like that happen. And again, like I said, there was some scheme stuff too to stop the run, but just not allowing the running game to be devastating like it has been against other teams was a huge part of how they were able to pull off this victory. But again, going over to something like this is really where it came down to, was just covering, just being able to not allow for guys to get open. It's something like this. It's cover one blitz, and they have a good concept designed to get someone open. That's the concept. It's just a quick slant route over the middle against man coverage, a one-on-one matchup. Like, this is the kind of stuff you expect to win. And this time it's not going to be Trent McDuffie. It's their other star corner, L'Jarius Sneed, who's covering him. Watch how when this play begins, you see right here, Sneed is creating contact at the line here, so there isn't a lot of separation. Purdy still going to try it, but as you see, it doesn't get complete, and even if it was complete, wasn't going for very many yards. So again, it just, if you can't cover, or if you can't get guys open, like, not going to go well typically, which is how they were able to get as many stops as they were able to get. And it's also what gave them the confidence on this play, on a 3rd down and 4, to go with what they're going to go with, which is an all-out pressure right here. They're going to send 6 players. There is one-on-one matchups across the board right here. And, I talked about how maybe the 49ers, in a different video, how the 49ers could have maybe checked their protection to make sure that they did have someone blocked across the board. But still, that's part of why you blitz, is that's not always going to happen. And the fact that they're going to do this means they have to have faith in their corners to be able to cover, especially when Trent McDuffie, again, an all-pro corner, is one of the guys you're sending. A lot of teams wouldn't do that because they want to make sure he's covering, but the Chiefs trust their other players. They trust Jalen Watson and Joshua Williams and L'Jarius Sneed to make sure that they can cover. Watch as you see on this play, as we all, I'm sure, remember, that you see McDuffie was able to knock that football away, and that kind of saved the game for the Chiefs. The 49ers had to settle for a field goal now instead of being able to kill more clock. The Chiefs were able to tie it and then win it in overtime. So, really good stuff here by the Kansas City Chiefs defense. That's kind of the long story short here. So yeah, I wanted to make a video talking about the many things that went right, and in fact, there were so many things that went right, I somehow didn't even mention, like, the pressure that was going on. Again, I made a lot of videos about the Super Bowl now, so you can see my video about Chris Jones or about George Karlaftis and all that stuff. But that's definitely something that they were able to do as well. But again, it all starts with coverage. If the quarterback has to hold on to the ball, that allows for guys to get open. And then every now and then a guy did get open, but then the pressure got there, so Purdy wasn't able to get the ball down that way. Just a lot of really good stuff for the Kansas City Chiefs defense, which is why they're Super Bowl champions. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.